Paper cutting is an art form that's believed to date back to the invention of paper itself in China around 2,000 years ago. Since then, many cultures around the world have developed their own unique styles. Special correspondent Kat Wise recently visited an artist whose paper cutting is inspired by the natural beauty and the people of the Pacific Northwest. It's part of our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
Every morning, artist and author Nikki McClure takes a long walk in the woods surrounding her home in Olympia, Washington. She feeds the birds and wildlife that dwell here and spends some time on the beach, just steps from her front door. Inspiration for her art is everywhere.
By the time I've taken that walk, an idea or a story will have shown itself to me, and then I sit down and I work.
McClure begins with a sketch, which she transfers to black paper and then begins to work her magic with her knife. Cut by tiny cut for nearly 30 years, McClure has revealed the world she sees and the creatures in it.
My work is usually all one piece. It's all connected because we all are connected.
McClure is the author and illustrator of 15 books, and she's collaborated on several more, including the New York Times bestseller All in a Day with author Cynthia Rylant. She also sells her original paper-cut art, prints, and a yearly calendar. McClure's deep connection to nature and her surroundings can be traced to her early years in Olympia when she studied natural history at the Evergreen State College.
I just kept drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, every stick, every leaf, every insect, every bird. It focused and trained my eye to see details and then trained my hand to draw those details.
After graduating in 1991, she began working at the Washington Department of Ecology and was immersed in Olympia's vibrant music and art scene.
We all lived downtown in these apartment buildings kind of all together. It was so spontaneous and alive, and the way that you communicated was through song or through art.
For a time, McClure also wrote and performed music and lived next to one of the most famous musicians to come out of Olympia during that era, Kurt Cobain of the band Nirvana.
So I moved into this house, and Kurt lived behind, and I shared the wall, and I could hear him play his songs through the wall. Seeing them play, there was this strong connection in this house.
After deciding to become a full-time artist, McClure began experimenting with paper cutting. She self-published her first book, Apple, for children in 1996.
I found that making art was a more calming way to communicate. I'm singing my songs still, but there's a child in a lap, in a home, and it's ultimately like that's where I want to sing my songs. They call these X-Acto knives, but they're not really exact. They have this mind of their own sometimes.
On a recent morning, I joined McClure at her desk as she worked on a piece that might end up in a future calendar.
And this was this one morning where I was swimming and I had my arms in front of me, and the way that the water was making my arms was that they were all squiggled. They weren't no longer solid, even though I knew that they were solid.
How do you know where to cut to make the image reveal itself?
I don't. You just have to trust it. What I really like about this process is that there's so many mistakes made.
Really?
And that you're making mistakes all the time in the sense of like, oh, that didn't quite work out. But you just keep going, and really, it's just a piece of paper.
But oh, what she can do with a piece of paper. Many of her works are focused on her experiences as a mother and raising her son Finn with her husband, J.T. Scott, a woodworker in Olympia.
It was such a remarkable gift to participate in this life as it developed and formed and grew and started asking questions like, Mama, is it summer yet? Mama, is it summer yet? Not yet, my little one, but the buds are swelling. Soon new leaves will unfold. Mama, is it summer yet? Not yet, my little one, but the squirrel is building her nest. Soon her babies will be born.
In What Will These Hands Make?, released in 2020, McClure highlights a family and their community as they prepare for a celebration.
This is the center map spread from the book, What Will These Hands Make? And it basically tells the story of this family. And here they are right here. And they are going from Grandma's house, there's Grandma raking, all the way across town to this cake, because there's going to be a big party at Grandma's house later.
The community, filled with people who make things with their hands,
Here's my friend Mariella's pottery studio.
is fictional, but many of the characters and businesses are inspired by our mutual hometown, Olympia.
Sometimes I row into town, and I would row over and go to Browser's bookstores here.
The real Browser's Bookshop is one of the local businesses McClure hand-delivers her calendars to each year.
Hey, Andrea. I brought you more calendars.
Andrea Griffith is the store's owner.
Nikki's work, it feels like Olympia. It's so tied to the natural world, and I think she teaches us how to see things here.
Like many in Olympia, Griffith says she feels a connection to McClure and the life experiences she reveals through her art.
Last month's calendar was an image of her son's boat sailing kind of away because her son was going to college. He's leaving, so I think we're all a little sad.
I guess what I want people to come away with or to feel when they look at my work is a sense of place, and to calm down and slow down and to just take a moment. Our lives are so fast. Everything's just, now, that we forget even what time of season it is. The picture can transport them to a quiet, slow, still moment, just for a brief second.
McClure has been working on illustrations for a new book, which will be released in March. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Kat Wise in Olympia, Washington.